Nothing. Hello. Thank you. Okay, we shall discuss now. Start putting. Speed better. The paper door close. Friends, we shall now discuss about, in the second session, higher education and society.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is a very important area of concern. This is a very important area of concern, in my opinion. No doubt, leadership is very important, academic leadership. Now, we will focus our attention on higher education. Actually, if you go through National Education Policy 2020, can anyone tell me during which month, date and year it came into being, NEP 2020? 29th July 2020. It was approved in the cabinet. All right. A few points related to education I would like to highlight. See, the NEP 2020, dear friends, this is erected on the foundational pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. This is a very important thing. Now, let me explain briefly. What are these foundational pillars? Access. See, education must be provided to everyone. But in India, at present, education, the doors of education is kept open for everyone. Okay. Now, that is the meaning of access. What is equity and equality? See, let us try to understand the difference between equality and equity. What is the meaning of equality? Giving the same thing to everyone. All are equal and they can get the education. That is called equality. What is equity? I will give you a good example to make you understand this. 1 second. See, imagine, now I will give you 5 biscuits to each and every one of you. It's an imagination, okay? So this is on the basis of equality principle I have given. But Kirti Prasad wants 10 biscuits, but he got only 5. Chandrasekhar GS, he also wants more than 5 biscuits, but he got only 5. Bhagyashree M. Patil, she wanted only 5, but in the name of equality, she got extra 5. So, equity means according to one's need. Please understand this. According to one's need. Education now, those days have gone when everyone used to go from class 1 to class 10, class 12, then 3 years of degree, and then becoming graduates. But today, there is multiple entries, channels for the students. See, for example, according to equity, there is no need for every student to go and knock at the doors of higher education. Not necessarily. There are some, after pre-university, after 12th class, they may go for certificate courses. They may go for just diploma courses. So that is the multiple entries now. Those who are really interested, higher education. So that is the meaning of this. Then quality, I have already told you. When we talk about quality, input, output, relationship. Then affordability. Affordability means availability. Everyone must get education. That's a very important thing. And then accountability. This I have already explained to you. Okay. Now, NEP 2020 is indeed a boon to Indians, especially in the contemporary context. Since I am from NCERT, I know about education policies. Right from 1968, 86, and then now it is 2020. When we talk about higher education, let us go back to 5th century. I will take all of you to 5th century, where Nalanda, Taxila, Varanasi, these universities were there in those days. People used to come, that means students, from different countries. There was no transportation in those days. How they used to come, we don't know. These are all world famous universities in those days, 5th century. And because of some student disturbances and other things, the university library was set on fire, and the amount of books, you should understand, thousands of books were burned, and they have written in a book I have read, the smoke used to billowing to the sky for months together. Such a colossal waste because of students' problems. The standard of universities were world famous. If there were to be continuation of university education in our country, because there is a lot of breaks, if there is a continuation one, world universities would have imitated us in the today's context. But now, I am very happy to tell, Indian universities are in no way inferior. Even today, Indian universities are making lot of progress, lot of development. If you take universities right from those days, centuries back, I will tell you, even today, universities in India is in no way inferior. I am fortunate, I have been to America and I visited Harvard University, Pittsburgh University, New York University, and Boston University. Of course, Harvard is a world famous university, you know that. I saw the facilities and I spoke to students from different countries, but I could not give a lecture. They said you should take prior permission to deliver a lecture like that, but I could not do that. But I spoke to students. I'm very happy to say, no doubt Harvard University is good. That does not mean Indian universities are inferior. No, Indian universities are equally good. Why I am telling this is, we should always move in the direction of development and progress. Whether it is industry, whether it is education, anything for the matter, whether it is finance, in every aspect we must think of development, progress, improvement, development, progress, improvement. Then we will make headway. Of course, India is now developing, progressing in an excellent way in the contemporary context. I am proud of the Indian system in today's context. Now, if we look at higher education, see, education system is there in India right from Vedic period, limit. Gurukula system. Even today, Gurukula is good, but we don't have Gurukula system now. But in privately, certain things are going on, but that is not to be calculated. Higher education. You know, why higher education? Why it is called higher education? We say higher education is a rich cultural and scientific asset which enables personal development and promotes economic, technological, and social change. See, the main aim of education is to bring appropriate social change, cultural change, scientific progress, science and technology, you can say. The Indian universities are doing good. Indian universities are progressing well in the contemporary context. See, for example, how our culture should improve. What is the role of higher education? What is the role of colleges from where you are all coming or representing? You know that. Now, higher education should develop and take the country forward in all fronts, not in one or two aspects. The first and the foremost thing is cultural development. What is culture? The way we behave, our traditions, customs. Some of the good old customs, good old traditions needs to be improved. Even today, in many villages in India, crude traditions are practiced. That should be stopped. For that, education is the only remedy. Education is all powerful. If you want to define education, education is omnipotent instrument, Sarva Shakta, all powerful. Education is an omnipotent instrument through which meaningful social changes and cultural changes can be brought about. Higher education should get up and do this type of work. Scientific development, technological development, social change. We must change our behavioral pattern. Age-old practices needs to be given up. Science should replace age-old practices. Even today, superstitious beliefs are haunting our country, right from Himalaya down to Kanyakumari. Therefore, there is a need to set right this. Education is the only answer. Higher education should take special interest. Universities should come forward. If you look at the objectives of higher education, very interesting. It should instill sentiments of national discipline. So this is a very important thing. See, education is not just for the sake of getting degrees and employment. That is one part. Very important part is it must develop national sentiments, patriotic feelings. Patriotism is very important. And we must change according to the changes that is taking place within our social system. Gone are those days when crude practices used to be practiced. But today, such practices needs to be given up. See, higher education should provide appropriate guidelines for justice. Justice is a very important thing. Every individual in the society must get proper justice. No discrimination. All are equal. All are equal. I appreciate Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He used to bring equality among all the persons. No question of differentiation. All are human beings. The same color blood is there with all the persons, not different. Justice, freedom, especially Indian political philosophy is democracy. Therefore, in democracy, freedom is the need of the hour. Freedom does not mean the way you want to talk, you should talk. No. Freedom means more responsibility. If you are given a freedom means, for example, in your college, freedom is given to you to function or work, you must be more responsible. Oh, freedom is given, I can do anything. No. Anything and everything you cannot do. You must do justice to your subject, justice to your students, justice to your immediate community. Any program you conduct, invite community people. Let them know what your college is doing, what your university is doing. That's a very important thing. And we must promote equality and brotherhood. That's a very important thing. Higher education should nurture the global citizens committed to ethical values and unity. See, higher education should strengthen ethical values. What is ethics? Right conduct, right way of behavior. You cannot behave as you like. No. Education must bring meaningful changes in the behavior of each and every individual. If you don't behave properly, there must be a strong law to take action through the police. It's a very important thing. Higher education should take up social aims. See, when I say social aims, hours together I can speak on that. The entire idea of social aims is everyone is treated good. Everyone is important. Forget about your caste, community, and all those things. All are equal. Forget about your religion also. All are equal. All are important. Social aim. You work for the social good. It's a very important thing. You should work for the social good. Then we talk about moral values. You know, the important aim of higher education is moral values. What do you mean by moral aim? For your information, what is the meaning of moral? Listen to me. Madhushri, listen to me carefully. Madhushri. See, when I say moral value, what is the meaning of moral? To judge the situation as right or wrong. Education should help you. I told you already, think. You have to think. See, only when you think, you can do good work. If you don't think, and please understand, if you think in the right direction, right things will come out. If you think in the wrong direction, wrong things will come out. Because I have been seeing so many crimes that is going on. Of course, in every country it happens, in our country also. Proper education, proper law and order should definitely bring a better moral values. Then intellectual aim. See, every university should build up the equipment of intellectual ability in all the students. That's a very important thing. And also wisdom. That's also a very important thing. In the first session, we spoke about wisdom. Only with wisdom, you can do good work. Mere intelligence will not take you to the heights. Wisdom definitely will help you a lot. Then we talk about spiritual values. Of course, I will not give too much of importance to spiritual aim, but spiritual aim is equally good. Actually, Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi, I read his definition of education long back, but still I remember. By education, I mean all-round drawing out of the best from child and man, body, mind, and spirit. See, I learned this 50 years back. Even today, I remember this. I will repeat. By education, I mean all-round drawing out of the best from child and man, body, mind, and spirit. Body means physical growth. Mind means intellectual development and spiritual development. That's a beautiful definition even today. And then higher education should bring up digital contents. Everything should be digitalized. How to go about digitalizing? Of course, that will take long time to explain, but still, digitalized India we want. Just like, cashless. Without any cash, you can go and do your business. I'm happy to tell you this, how our education is improving. See, this Paytm, Google, so many things are there, to pass on the money from one person to another person. If you go to market, if you go to vegetable market, there also you can use your Paytm and transact the business. This type of facility is there more only in India. This is an effect of digitalization. See, the other day from Germany, a minister came in Bangalore and he was taken to a vegetable market where he purchased some green chilies. And they said, this is how you can transact. Within no time, including paisas, 25 rupees, 75 paisa, he just transacted. And he said, even in Germany, we don't have this system. And in India, it is so much. It is all because of the interest taken by the higher education authorities and also the government. It's a very important thing. You should know this. In your higher education should also take into consideration citizenship training. I'm an Indian citizen. What are my responsibilities? How I should behave in public? How I should behave in private? All these things should be properly executed. This is a very important thing. Then collaboration is another important aim of higher education. Communication, of course, communication is a very important thing. You cannot communicate without the persons in front of you or at a distance. So communication has grown up like anything in India and other countries today. Creativity. See, we must instill creativity. Of course, creativity cannot be established, whereas intelligence can be established. Creativity, if you have some element of creativity in you, that can be nurtured further. That's a very important thing. Critical thinking is another important concern of not only education at the lower level, even at higher education. Critical thinking, critical reflection, very important thing. What do you mean by critical thinking? Going deep into the matter and then think in a meaningful way. And then self-realization is another important thing. Education at all levels, especially at higher education, needs to be focused. It is not just content-based. You should also help the nation to grow, nation to behave in a proper way. Everyone must have individual freedom. See, democracy gives importance to individual freedom. Individual freedom does not mean to do whatever you want to do. No. Freedom means responsibility. That's a very important thing you should understand. Then opportunities must be given for each student to have personal accomplishment. Accomplishment means completion of things. Then economic independence. This is also a very important thing. Higher education and industry relationship should be there. In America and other countries, higher education and the government, they work together so that to improve the economic development. Even in India, now it is being practiced. And India is now in the 5th place in the economy, and shortly it will take up the 3rd place, that everyone knows it. Now, when I say critical thinking leads to problem solving. You all agree with me? Say yes, sir. Critical thinking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, friends. Thank you, friends. Critical thinking leads to problem solving. There is nothing like a problem cannot be solved. No, everything can be solved, provided we must think properly. See, the battle should not be ended on the battlefield. No, you end your battle in your mind first, then everything will be automatically solved. See, education, if you look at, is an important component of every individual's life. Higher education should open the avenues to do more research. Research component is very important. Only when you do research, you can solve problems. We want new knowledge. See, for example, how India was able to prepare COVID injections and how nicely it helped Indians and also the other countries. This is a beautiful development because scientists, educationists, everyone applied their mind and they were able to do that work in a meaningful way. Higher education should focus more on bringing scientific temperament in the minds of the people. See, what is happening even today, right from Himalaya down to Kanyakumari, the superstitious beliefs are rampant in India. So many cheatings are going on in the name of superstitious beliefs. So education can help replace that. That is the reason why we say higher education should focus on how to improve the problems that are there in the society now. It may be in remote villages, it may be in towns, it may be in cities, we don't know. Education should solve. Even today, people believe in superstitious, educated people also believe in superstitious beliefs. That must be given up. Scientific attitude is the need of the hour. What is the meaning of attitude? Mental framework. That's called attitude. Manobhavane, how you think. That's a very important thing. So higher education should take up that. And then we must aim at proper planning at higher education. Proper planning, this is a very important thing. Only when you plan properly, your performance will be meaningful. Please remember this. Only when you plan, your performance definitely move in the same line, the way you have planned. Then definitely you will get better production. You know, that's a very important thing. Education is indeed that to higher education. Higher education should focus even on vocational education. There is nothing wrong in it. You know, it should help the individuals in the society to progress in a meaningful way. Now let us come to understand how many universities are there in India at present. Actually, I went through Google and I was able to get this information. Higher education universities, 1,185 universities are there. In some places, it is little less. In some places, it is little more. But higher education, universities are the place where something meaningful is discussed, something meaningful is planned, something meaningful is implemented. That's a very important thing in my opinion. Yes. What are the different types of universities? See, you all know there are different types of universities. For your information, universities like state university, private university, deemed university, autonomous colleges. I'm happy to say NCERT has been made as a deemed to be university. It is called a deemed to be university. In Karnataka, there are 59 universities, all mixed, private, governments, all these things. The role of university is to rise the standard of living. It is not simply doing some research and just keep quiet. No. Number of universities needs to be further improved, and it will going to improve definitely 100%. That is sure. Deemed to be university has full powers to award a degree, diploma, and other academic certificates, whereas autonomous colleges do not have power to award a degree, but it is attached to some universities. According to new education policy, now we don't have affiliation universities. It is direct. Autonomous universities are affiliated to some university department or some government board. They enjoy freedom to deciding syllabus and pedagogy. What is pedagogy? Peda means child. Gogi means methodology. Pedagogy means teaching school children. You are dealing with adults. What it is called? It is known as andragogy. Andra means adult. Gogi means methodology. Andragogy. There is a separate method for teaching. Then teaching elders. Teaching elders, not adults, elders. That is called geragogy. 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 I have written a beautiful article on geragogy. I have so far published more than 1,500 articles in reputed magazines, reputed journals, periodicals, newspapers, all these things. I'm a writer. Even today I write. Even today I work on computer for 2 to 3 hours every day, sometimes even more. Then at a particular level, students, they themselves learn. One second, let me take a little longer. Students, they study on their own. Technically, it is called heutagogy. Pedagogy, andragogy, heutagogy, geragogy. These are the technical names for teaching children, teaching adults, teaching elders, and learning on their own. That's called heutagogy. I have written articles on all these things in a beautiful way. When Britishers came here, university system was there, but they have contributed a lot. 1857, 3 presidency universities were started: Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. Mysore University, from where I am speaking, it was started in 1916, 100 years over, 1916, very old university. There are so many universities in India. All universities are doing good, except a few where the leadership is not good. That is the reason why they are not functioning properly. Then we talk about what is known as how to make universities function better compared to previous years. You have to have plans. Planning is very important thing. Like annual plan, perspective plan. These are some of the things that you have to keep in mind. University is a place where different persons with different ideas, they come together, they share their experience, they understand things better and contribute for the development of the nation through university education. The present central government is giving a lot of importance to education at all levels, of course, not merely higher education. When we talk about higher education, we talk about more of research. Research in all the fields needs to be taken up so that results will be better and meaningful to implement the right decisions. We have in our letter, they have mentioned about what is known as entrepreneurial universities. I will repeat again. Entrepreneurial university. What does it mean? Entrepreneurial university is a university that has the capacity to innovate, recognize, and create opportunities, as well as working as a team, taking risks and responding to challenges. There are many universities in India. They are doing very good. I don't want to name the universities, but there are very good universities in India. At present, they are doing it. I can give examples from America, Michigan University, Houston University, Arizona University, Syracuse University, Washington University, Miami University, Texas University, Illinois University. These are all known as entrepreneurial universities. Now, focus of higher education system in the 21st century, that is the title given in the sub-theme 2, transmitting knowledge and critical thinking. I told you in the beginning, the first session, knowledge needs to be transmitted, transacted. For all these things, what is very important is critical thinking. Role of higher education for, I mentioned already, same thing they have mentioned here, social, cultural, spiritual, economics, political, and technological development. Then we talk about soft skills, hard skills. I will just mention one skill. You tell me whether it is soft skill or a hard skill. Leadership. Tell me whether it is soft skill or hard skill. Leadership. Can anyone answer? Which is easy to achieve, soft skill or hard skill? You're not understanding?
Hard skill, sir. Hard skill, sir.
No. It is very difficult to achieve soft skills. See, for example, I said leadership. Leadership is a soft skill. It is not that easy. You have to think. Each one differs in their thinking. Soft skills. very difficult to achieve. Hard skills, very easy to. For example, typing, operating a machine, that is a hard skill. When once you know the procedure step by step, immediately you will learn it. But soft skill, no, very difficult. For example, programming in a computer, it takes a lot of time. How to operate a computer, that is a hard skill. That you will learn without any problem. How to open, how to close it, all these things you can do it. Okay. We talk about nowadays smart technology, integration with lifelong learning. That's the point they have mentioned here. What is very important is technological integration. So technology needs to be integrated in our daily life. Science has already done that. We owe our existence to science. Without science, we are nowhere. Therefore, science is very important. Our existence is referred to science in the contemporary context. Then, sub-theme 3, they have mentioned mission of higher education system. What is this core mission? Core and a kind of compulsory mission, teaching. What is teaching? Anybody and everybody cannot teach. Teaching profession is not everybody's cup of tea. Anybody and everybody can take tea, but teaching is not like that. Teaching means it has its own philosophy, it has its own objectives. What is the difference between? See, teaching, we call it as a profession. You can earn money by different ways, even by selling lottery tickets and groundnut, mumpali. You can earn, but that is not a profession. A profession means a seriousness. It has certain values, certain steps. All these things needs to be practiced. So teaching is a very important component at all levels, right from LKG, UKG up to higher education. You have to take up teaching in a meaningful way. If you want to teach, you have to prepare well first. Unless you prepare well, you cannot teach. Otherwise, when you enter the classroom, you will do blah, blah. Therefore, if you want to teach, proper preparation is the need of the hour. You are all doing that. I know very well. You are all good teachers. Then, whoever teaches at higher education, they must have, we'll mention here, desirable qualification for the faculty. Anybody and everybody cannot teach any subject. Specialization is needed at higher education. So faculty education, that is qualification. That's a very important thing. There is a mention here, human capital. Human capital investment, we say. What is the meaning of human capital investment? See, human resource or resources is considered as a capital. You invest on individuals, it is good so that, they get knowledge. In turn, they contribute for the betterment of the society. That's a very important thing you must take into consideration. And then, curriculum. Higher education curriculum, of course, curriculum at all levels needs to be reviewed. Higher education curriculum needs to be reviewed, keeping in mind the world-class universities. Please remember how they are developing, how we can develop further. You have to take the model from world universities. For example, Oxford University, of course, I have not visited. Harvard University, I visited. Harvard University. Take some important universities, the curriculum, how we can improve. I'm not telling you just, copy it down. No. See, any curriculum needs to be prepared according to local needs, Indian needs, our needs. That's a very important thing. Then we talk about outcome-based curriculum. Any curriculum you prepare, it must be useful. It must be useful. That's called outcome-based curriculum. And what are the thrust areas? We have to take into cognizance the thrust means important areas. Okay. National priorities, what the country needs. Accordingly, higher education curriculum needs to be reviewed and replanned. That's a very important thing. Of course, research is a very important component. Research needs to be embedded with higher education. It is not just doing PhD and getting doctoral degree. No, that is okay. That is only for your promotion. What is very important is the real research starts only after completing your PhD. What type of research activities you can plan? Any research for the matter, it should be socially relevant. Socially relevant research work needs to be encouraged. My 30 students who got doctorate working in different areas, I'm happy to say all the areas are socially relevant. One important area I will mention, one candidate has done. See, we have Navodaya Vidyalayas. You all know what is the purpose of starting Navodaya Vidyalayas. For a question of time, I myself will tell. Navodaya Vidyalayas have been started to nurture the rural talent. Even higher education should take up that. Rural talents. Gone are the days when people used to think intellectua is there only with urban. No. Rural students are far, far better. Rural girls and boys, they think really good. Therefore, Navodaya Vidyalaya started with the purpose of helping the rural students, nurturing the rural talents. And then my students' PhD topic was comparing the self-concept of Navodaya Vidyalaya students and government school students in Karnataka. Fantastic results have come. Even in Deccan Herald newspaper, the findings was published. See, for example, when you say self-concept, understanding your own self and how to behave in a meaningful way. See, the beauty of Navodaya Vidyalaya is, it is a school known as residential schools. All children are supposed to stay there. Even teachers are supposed to stay there. So this atmosphere is so good. And everyone gets the same food. Same food, same facilities, including the dress, shoes, everything. But in government schools, see why we compared, I am telling you. In government schools, nobody knows food. It depends upon their family. Some are rich, they may get good food. Some are poor, poverty-stricken parents, so they may not get proper food. When we compare self-concept of Navodaya Vidyalaya students and government school students, the self-concept of Navodaya Vidyalaya students was really high and good. Reason is only this much. It is residential. Everything is synchronized there. But each home has a different background. Government school students coming from different homes. That is the reason why we say the residential schools promote better values, better cultural values, better social values, better individual aims, so that they behave in a group. They eat the same food. But government school students, it depends upon the home. Now, why? This is a socially relevant research, and we recommended that to the government of India. More and more Navodaya type of schools should be started. Keeping this in mind, Karnataka government started Morarji schools in villages. How it is functioning, you all know. It's good. Okay. So, research should help the government, the planners, the authorities to improve the social system. Every research must be socially relevant. Then it works out better. Simply for the sake of doctoral work, if you work, it will be in the cold storage in college libraries or university libraries. Nobody will be seeing that. But if the research is socially relevant, definitely everyone will use it. Hey, what is that? What he has done? What she has done? Like that. All right. Then, sub-theme 4. What they have mentioned here, I will tell you. Financial resources. Every university should get financial resources. They may generate their own resources also, apart from getting the government grants. Of course, the main aim of UGC is to provide grants to the universities. So how to improve the financial resources? Financial autonomy. Some universities, they earn money out of the programs and they will get financial autonomy. That's a very important thing. Then encouraging university industry relationship. This is what I said. You know, university role should not be just, awarding degrees and certificates, doctoral certificates. Not only that. When we say university and industry relationship means all our programs must be related to your work. We want like that, not delinking degree from the university. Whatever university plans, it must be available in the society so that they will soon, immediately they should get the job. Now, for example, MBA. In MBA, there are varieties of courses. For example, finance, industry, hospital things. So they will get immediately jobs. That is more or less work-oriented degrees. Simply for the sake of MSc chemistry, MSc maths, if you take like that, in no way it will benefit you. Therefore, we say any such degrees must be linked to job opportunities, but very difficult to implement, but we must move in that direction. That's a suggestion actually. That is what we say, encouraging university industry relationship. And we must go for digital universities. In India, most of the libraries have been digitalized at the university level, so that you will get all information from the entire world and you can establish a proper understanding and relationship with other universities. Now it is so easy. Communication has become easy. Transportation has become easy. Those days have gone when transportation was impossible during Nalanda, Taxila type university. But today it is not like that. Anybody can go to any university and study either in their own country or in other countries. Then there is a mention about the sub-theme, last one, sub-theme 5, liberalization, globalization, internationalization. What do you mean by liberalization? See, liberalization refers to giving equal importance to everyone so that, liberally everything is made available. So that is the concept of the liberalization. Then we talk about globalization. When we say globalization, for example, water bottle. Simple example I'm giving. Water bottle. The water bottle concept was not at all there some 50, 60 years back. Maybe even 70 years back, I don't know. But now, water is available in the bottle throughout the world. So that is an example for globalization. And students from any country can go to any other country for their education, for their job and other things. That is also a part of globalization. When you say globalization, that which is available, practiced throughout the world, that is the meaning of globalization. Then internationalization. Internationalization means the entire world, we should treat it as one. And then things should be available in every part of the world. See, now any vegetable that is grown, for example, there may be some fruits, kiwi fruits, for example. Kiwi fruits come from New Zealand. It is available everywhere. Mango, everywhere it is available. That is all part of globalization and internationalization. Education should also be made available throughout the globe. It is a fact and it is going on now. Then academic and research practices, we needs to be done that. That's a very important thing. And we must have what is known as global citizenship. That is also another very important thing. Global citizenship. So, university education needs to be strengthened, needs to be developed, needs to be improved everywhere throughout the world, not necessarily in our country. Okay. See, when we talk about role of university in the society, we say traditional functions of universities. What is traditional functions of universities? Teaching, doing some research, awarding degrees, certificates, diplomas. And then through research, we can do what is known as better equipments, better value system can be developed through the research. Research is a vital aspect of every nation. Actually, in India, some years back, teachers at college level and university level, they were just busy in teaching only. Research was a very rare commodity. I still remember, in the hall where I am speaking now, In the same hall, I used to ask some 30 years back, how many of you are holding doctoral degree? One or two used to rise, but now everyone rises. Everyone has, PhD degree nowadays. But it is not just a degree. What you do afterwards. How many research papers you have to contribute? How many research papers you have to publish in UGC recognized magazines, periodicals. Nowadays, it has been made compulsory for research students. That is okay for getting degree, PhD degree, but afterwards, what you do, that is much more important. And then those days have gone when lot of autocracy was there even in universities. But today, universities have eschewed monarchy and autocracy and has initiated what is known as the era of democracy. So throughout the world, now democracy has become the part of every university. Beautiful. Higher education plays a crucial role in society by contributing for the economic growth. Please remember, higher education should ultimately contribute for economic growth. It is not just to take degrees and certificates. Then social progress, very important thing. Social progress and improving overall quality of life. The role of higher education is to improve the quality of life. What do you mean by quality of life? How you think, what you do, what type of relationship you have with your neighbors. These are all part and parcel of education and also higher education. You cannot think that you are in ivory towers. Talk to everyone. Be friendly with everyone. And if anyone is suffering, be part of that and find out how to remove that suffering from such a group of people or a person. And higher education in the society, it should develop skills. Now central government is giving a lot of importance to skill development education. Everywhere skills are improved. Everywhere skills are provided. That's a very important thing. And more people are getting better qualifications. Not only through formal universities, even through online courses. MOOCs, you all know that. Massive online orientation. Web, that is also there. Education. Through radio, through television, you can learn anything and everything. That is the beauty of the modern education of higher education in our country. See, any person in a village can learn many things through online courses. We have online courses right from 9th class up to postgraduate courses. You need not go to any college or university, but still you can obtain that. That is through MOOCs, MOOCs. Perhaps you know that, Then, by getting good education, you will get good earnings also. That's a very important thing. And your life will be more stable. That's a very important thing. It needs to be understood by everyone. Now, I would like to put some questions just for the first session about the academic leadership. Can you identify in the following a good leader, how a good leader should be. 4 alternatives I am giving you. You have to select any one. How a good leader should be. Number 1, dress. Number 2, personal appearance. Number 3, communication. 4, devotion to duty. What is the answer? The answer is communication.
Devotion to duty.
No.
Sir, number 4.
Communication. Communication is very important. You
Yes.
may be devoted to your duty, but without communication, what will you do? Communication is very important. I have already mentioned, but there's a question you answer. A group of donkeys led by a lion can easily defeat a group of lions led by a donkey. Who made this statement? Aristotle, Socrates, Pestalozzi, Plato.
Socrates, sir. Socrates.
Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. Okay. NHRC, what is the meaning of that? National Higher Education Resource Center, National Higher Education Resource Council, National Higher Education Resource Commission, National Higher Education Regional Council. The first one, Regional Center. Some questions, sorry, don't worry about that. During which year UGC launched MMTTC? During which year UGC launched MMTTC, where you are getting your education? It is on 16th September 2023. This is the answer. 16th September 2023.
2023.
Yes. Who is known as silver tongue orator? Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Mahatma Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Rabindranath Tagore.
Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya.
Very good. Who is called as Prince of Beggars? Mahatma Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Gokhale, Pandit Mohan
Malviya. Malviya.
Very good. Now let me come to some questions in higher education. See, time out. See, as far as I'll read out some questions straight. Who is called the mother of Indian education? Alternatives: Savitri Devi, Savitramma Phule,
Savitramma Phule, sir.
Let me complete.
Savitramma Phule.
Just wait. Savitri Bai Phule. Who?
Savitri Bai Phule.
Savitri Bai Phule.
Savitri Bai Phule. Yes.
Savitri Bai Phule, sir.
Okay. In higher education, another question. Wood's Dispatch. In which year it came into being? Wood's Dispatch. 1855, 1854, 1856, 1858.
1854.
Very good. Who is that? Who answered?
Padmalata, sir.
Padmalata. From where?
Sarvodaya College.
Oh, Padmalata. You are an educationist, you know that. Yes. NEP was formed in 29th July 2020, 26th July 2020, 27th August 2020, 24th July 2020.
July 29, 2020, sir.
29 July, sir.
Correct.
July 29, 2020.
Yes.
20.
Which state in India has more universities? Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Bihar. Which state has more universities in India?
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ 59 ಸದ್ಯ ಇದಾವೆ ಸರ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ್, ಬಿಹಾರ್.
ಸರ್ UP ಆರ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ?
UP, sir.
No.
ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಸರ್.
Karnataka, no. Rajasthan. 93 universities are there. 93. Which is a soft skill in this group? Leadership, machine operation, typing and writing.
Machine operation.
Leadership.
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 Leadership, sir.
Correct.
Oh, hard. Yes.
What is artificial intelligence? It comes under higher education. Number 1, critical thinking, reflective thinking, learning. 4th one, science of making machines that can think like humans.
Last one.
Fourth one.
Fourth one, sir.
4th one is the correct one. AI, artificial intelligence, is science of making machines that can think like humans. Who is the father of action research? Kurt Lewin, John Hopkins, McAver, Alfred.
First one, sir.
Answer is Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin. What is the meaning of UIL? There will be this question will be there. What is the meaning of UIL? University Interscholastic League, University Interscholastic Layer, University Interscholastic Latch, University Interscholastic Ledger.
Yes, sir.
First one, University Interscholastic League. That's the correct answer. These are the questions. Now, as far as NEP is concerned, I have my own conclusions which I am going to read now. Kindly listen. In conclusion, as far as NEP is concerned, NEP 2020 will strengthen the fundamentals of moral and basic education and provide opportunities for the equitable and qualitative development that is sensitive to local cultural contexts and global possibilities. This in turn will lead to the development of an innovative, analytical, just and aware Indian consciousness, expediting the development of a prosperous and self-reliant nation, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. So you are able to understand and appreciate two themes today. One is academic leadership, governance and management. Second one is higher education and society. So any education, whether it is Indian higher education or some other country's higher education, ultimate improvement is it must help the entire society to develop in a positive way. NEP 2020 is indeed a beautiful roadmap for practicing, developing the entire human society. Entire human capital can develop like anything through NEP 2020. Thank you very much for listening to me, dear students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, sir.
Dear participants, I will end the session now. And I remind you once again, tomorrow you have test at 5 p.m. Okay. Please use laptop or desktop. Thank you all.